Hello there, Caden WXers, and today we'll be talking about the upcoming winter storm and blizzard event. And if you're wondering what exactly will be going on during this storm, you came to the right place, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, let's get started. So let's start off with the Great Plains region and ongoing current warnings, advisories, watches, etc. So right now, we've had snow showers going through the Detroit area today, and that winter storm that was on the Gulf Coast a moment ago is now lifting off to the northeast, and these winter storm warnings are about to go and expire. And right now we do have a blizzard for the upcoming snowstorm, which I'm about to show you for these areas over here. And maybe even southeastern Michigan could get hit by the front end of the snowstorm, bringing them heavy snow and possibly winds during the morning hours. And it is still a huge possibility. We have two scenarios, so let's get right into this. And not only that, we also have the second storm later this week. I have lower confidence of anything during that storm, but I do know that it will happen, and I believe the regions that could be affected by that second storm later this week could be for these areas here. Possibly right now 12 inches plus, but again, we do not even know about that storm. So let's get right into this. So let's start off with the ongoing blizzard warnings and the winter storm warnings now in effect right now. We're about to have a low pressure come off the mountains over here, impacting these regions as the low pressure continues to move off this direction and eventually hit the Michigan corridor. But while that is going on, we will have a lot of lift in the Gulf of Mexico for severe weather to develop. So these areas right now are under the risk of severe weather currently from the Storm Prediction Center Day 3, which I may or may not talk about today. So these regions need to keep on the lookout for a possible tornado outbreak as well. And this is going to be an all-in-one event, and with snow, severe weather, and flooding possible. So, on another note, a lot of areas in the Washington area are also under a blizzard warning, particularly for, again, just moisture coming off of the ocean. These are some common areas that you do usually get hit. We do have a hard freeze warning and freeze warnings now in effect for areas around California, including Los Angeles, and basically between San Francisco and Los Angeles, if I had to say. Albuquerque, northwest of Albuquerque, you're also under a winter storm warning for the upcoming blizzard that will be heading off this way. As you can see, we are already seeing some motion going on, and that will trigger what is going to happen for the rest of the week. So let's get straight into weather models, but first let's also go over one last thing, and that is right now we do have a marginal risk for severe weather, not particularly expecting to be any strong, and I don't think I'll be talking about it in today's video. So let's get straight into this. Alright, so here is our ongoing, or not ongoing, but upcoming system that will be affecting the United States in the next week. So as you can see, we do have that area of low pressure going down all the way to what seems a 982 as of now, and the Michigan area does seem to be getting affected, as well as those areas under that blizzard warning, as rapid intensification does occur as this comes off the mountains. So let's take a look at this individually, piece by piece. There are those blizzard warnings in effect for the Kansas and Oklahoma area. I'd say the greater chance would be probably in the northwestern Kansas area to see those blizzard conditions, but I would not rule out some high-end wind gusts with these upcoming with this upcoming storm. And if you look to the south, you could see those storms developing to the south. It does seem to be looking pretty linear as of now, but I would not be surprised if we do see any discrete supercells form ahead of that frontal boundary, with the Storm Prediction Center marking that area a possibility of a tornado outbreak, which I may or may not go live for this week. Now, as we look into the Michigan area, you can definitely see that heavy snow during the morning hours, buses rolling out, and all that. Schools are still a possibility being closed despite no winter weather advisories or watches in effect. I do think we could definitely see some school closures due to heavy wind and snow during the morning hours, but do not mark my words. I don't particularly think that will happen. This is scenario 1, and that is for the morning hours to get a bulk of snow and not much on the rain side during the afternoon hours. Heck, maybe even like just a drizzle during the afternoon. But if we look at something like the NAM 3K, we get a pretty different story. So as we can see, by the morning hours, though, we go straight to rain. It's not much waiting. There's a dry slot, and as you can see, it really just mostly rain during the afternoon, coming in really fast, and then possibly snow on the backside, it looks like. So let's take a closer look at snow totals from this winter storm. Let's start with the central United States. We're going to take a look at the HUR, of course. That one I find to be the best. And we will also be undergoing the potential for maybe even thunder snow. As you can see, with those snow totals reaching out at around 14, 17 inches of snow on the back end over here for those blizzard warnings. So these areas do have a really high possibility of major snowstorm hitting these areas over here. Expect changes in the forecast, and let's look at the Midwest region. And as you can see, there is that snow on the HUR, possibly up to 4 to 5 inches for some regions in the southeastern Michigan area. Illinois also looking to get some of that snow, 9 to 8 inches on the northern side. And as you can see, a lot of this area over here getting around 8 to 9 inches. And Michigan possibly getting some of the remnants from that storm. But let's also take a look at the wind gusts with that. I mean, this is where we could see blizzard conditions at times, especially in the Michigan area. As you can see, those winds do not let up during the morning hours. So during the morning hours when school buses are rolling out, wind gusts could be gusting near 40 miles per hour. And then by the afternoon time, winds could be around 1 a.m. Not 1 a.m. sorry. 1 p.m. You can see those wind gusts possibly up to 60 miles per hour for part of western Michigan and 50 miles per hour as we get closer to the southeastern Michigan area. Now, I think the most likely area to get a bulk of the snow will probably be these areas in the north lower peninsula. I think they will get the most amount of snow, as well as western Michigan, possibly afterward, with possible lake effect snow showers. And let's take a look also at reflectivity here. As you can see, you could see that initial prefrontal of snow showers pushing up to the north, and you could see snow during the morning hours. And look at that massive snow dump on the line here. Like, this is where it could become concerning for southeastern Michigan. You could see all that heavy snow hitting during the morning hours, and that could possibly be a big concern. And the HUR kind of wants to keep the snow around a lot longer than what most models say, but expect changes in the forecast, and I'll probably make another video tomorrow evening, and that will pretty much be a finalized forecast for that time of day and during the region. While as we look at the NAM 3K, this is our scenario 2. We still get that heavy snow during the morning hours, but look how much faster that stuff reels out of there. Yeah, so like on the HUR, it'd be dumping snow right now, but the NAM 3K is really pushing in much more warmer air than what the HUR says. See that snow? on the northern Michigan area, still just dumping snow. And then on the back end, we could see some more snow. The NAM, which is the big brother of the NAM 3K, you could really just see the same exact thing as the NAM 3K because, again, they're pretty much the same with some of that backside snow from the lakes and more snow showers on Thursday for that time frame. Again, school closures will still be possible, and we will even be taking a look at the severity index for that time frame. But let's move on to storm number 2. Just give me a sec. Here we go. So let's take a look. The GFS. There's Tuesday's snowstorm, and then there's Thursday's. This is my concern. So heavy snow during the Friday morning commute, according to the 18Z. It slows down, but then it picks up back again around 1:38 hours out, and eventually just keeps on going. And you could see some of this cold air and those constant snowstorms you could see coming in. Look at this Alberta Clipper. You can see that go by with heavy winds, it looks like. And just look at this highway for snow. And then there's that one little snowstorm. It's like we're about to see a pretty active January. It does seem like, after this Arctic front or possible polar vortex to run through, you could see those heavy cold air just rolling in, and that creates like a snow highway because it just picks up snow and it just keeps on going. Look at it. Alberta Clipper, one after another, and it just keeps on going. So let's take a look at the GFS 24-hour snowfall. You can see some of that. Again, heavy snow during the morning hours. This model brings us around 5 inches for southeastern Michigan. And then you can see that snowstorm also dropping some pretty heavy snow. And then you can see the southern one. Again, each of these snowstorms are, again, going to expect changes. But you can just see storm after storm rolling and rolling by. And right now, there's a lot of uncertainty with the Friday through Sunday event right now because models are still pretty iffy, but the Winter Prediction Center is centering southeastern Michigan as the best possible target right now. Because if I look at the 12Z, you see there's a big difference. So you can see that massive difference in low pressure placement. So right now, we still don't know a lot of details about the Friday event. And so let's just take a look at the Euro, see what that one says. So there's that event. This one brings it much more closer to the HER, as you could see with those snow showers lasting a little bit longer into the day. As they go by, then there's that snowstorm and bringing out this solution. Again, if you're concerned about rain, don't be. That's pretty much just going to be pretty close to maybe just even sleet. And then you can see that another snowstorm roll by. So it, again, looks like we're going to see a pretty active year for January. And if we look at the wind chill and all that, look at this polar vortex we could be seeing coming into the few days. Look at for the west here, we could see several days with just cold temperatures that we've not seen in a while. Even Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin. It's just a pretty active pattern, and that's, again, what's going to trigger that highway for snow showers into the coming days. So if I look at the 18Z, you can just see all this cold air just rushing in. And look at this, -11, -36. These temperatures are just crazy. Well, this isn't temperatures, this is wind chill, but, that's really what we're concerned about. Look at these areas. -33, -31. This is a polar vortex we might have not have seen in a pretty long time. And this could last for several days, it looks like. Heck, I don't know one time until after Tuesday we see us climbing out of freezing temperatures. Look, we have Tuesday afternoon, and then I don't see one time where us in southeastern Michigan, where I live, getting out of the freezing digits. Like, this is just absolute mayhem, and that could really help keep around the snowfall for a lot longer, and it doesn't seem to let up till like 384 hours out. So we could definitely see some pretty heavy snow for quite a long time, and we could see like chances of 1-inch snowfall on the GEFS being a lot more confident. See, this is actually updating even more. This area used to be a lot lower, but the chances of snowfall for this region during the morning hours is rising, actually. So we will, again, watch that trend. And you can see a relative agreement on the ensembles that this area right here could see the bulk of where this winter storm might hit. So if I go over to here, yep, you can see it. It pretty much centers right around southeastern Michigan, Indiana, Ohio. Just really these areas in general have the best chance of seeing that Friday snowstorm and possibly blizzard due to the wind gust behind that. But we cannot go too far in depth with snow totals just yet, because again, each weather model is different. Like if I go to this weather model, and that, yeah. So this is why we can't make any early suggestions to what could happen. This is not gonna happen. Do not. I mean, again, like if I go to that's 12Z. If I go to the 18Z, it's gonna bring out an entirely different solution. See? So this is why we can't get too ahead of ourselves with Friday's snowstorm. Southeastern Michigan still getting like a foot. Again, like this area in particular could see a really big snowstorm on Friday, and that's all I could tell you. I cannot give you any estimates on the prediction for amount of snowfall. And before I go, let's just take a look at one more thing, and that would be the chances for like what the winter storm index is looking like. I'm just trying to find it real quick. I'm sorry. Severity index. All right. All right, and I got it. So let's just do that. All right. So here is our index right now. As you can see, the Detroit area going under a minor risk, but we do see some of those oranges trying to fill into the area, possibly for school closures. Again, that is not a guarantee. That is a possibility if we do get that heavy snowfall during the morning hours, which I doubt, but could still very much happen. And if we take a look, here are the major impacts, and much of these areas are in the orange and possibly red for a couple areas. But right now, the winter severity index, this is all we're getting right now. Most of these, seems like these areas right now are the least likely to get that first day, like the first snowfall during the morning hours for southeastern Michigan. So that's all I got for you guys today, and I hope that everyone enjoys this winter weather while it lasts, and I hope everyone has an amazing week, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.